Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 31st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we'll get started shortly. Just got to update a couple of things here. That's good. That's good. Looks like we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. So all right. So link's pretty much sent out. I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. As people join in, I'm going to go ahead and post these links to our different pages real quick. All right. Just one last place for me to post this up, and then we should be good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, January 31st. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to give it a few more moments for people to continue to make their way in. But as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and start to analyze things. So we had news this morning pre-market, I believe. Let me pull up the news for today. Today's Tuesday, January 31st. We had news over here at 5:30 and 6 o'clock. And then we have news at 6:45. So 5:30 and 6 o'clock, I'm going to go ahead and mark that up over here on the charts. News over here at 5:30, which is going to be this huge green candle right here. And then another news event right here at 6 o'clock that just happened not too long ago. The smaller green candle. All right, so I got that marked up right there. We also have news coming up over here at 6:45, 7, and that's about it. 6:45 and 7 o'clock. So we got news coming up shortly. Just gotta be a little careful around there. You guys remember what happened yesterday? We kind of got caught in news. So you got to be a little careful around those areas. I don't think it's gonna be a huge problem, but obviously we want to be cognizant of like what's going on in the market. Let me check the my FX book real quick. My FX book over here. Yeah, news at 6:45, Chicago PMI, CB consumer confidence, Dallas Fed services index at 7:30, Dallas Fed services revenues index at 7:30. There's a lot of news today, actually. So we had even more news over here at 7:30. And then I think that's it. Okay, cool. So I think that's about it. Sorry, guys. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Keonia. Morning, Peter. Kip said I almost left my camera on just getting out of the shower. Nobody would have been happy. Yeah, I think you guys remember like last year, there was there's a couple of people that were always like on camera, but they didn't realize they're on camera. And they were like butt naked on camera, and people would just be like, "Hey, can someone tell them to turn off their camera?" Or someone would just be like sitting there, uh, like looking super lost, like they just woke up. You guys, a lot of you guys remember that before. There was like a guy that was, I don't remember if he's still in this group, but he would always just sit on the camera in just his underwear. He never realized the camera was on until someone told him, because everyone would always watch him in the morning. Um, and he never realized it until after, and then after that it just became a normal thing. uh, so yeah, guys, just remember, when you guys sign on to the Zoom, your camera is usually automatically open, so people can see what you're doing. I have this little label thing that I put on my camera that you can buy on Amazon. It's a like little security thing that I usually close just in case, so that doesn't happen. Anyways, guys, morning everybody. Let me see who else is here. Morning, Karen. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Surin. Jalon said he caught like 600 pips on that drop during London session. Nice. Morning, Maria. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Christian. Morning, Rashida. Yeah, Maddie. Maddie just said his name. His name was Andre. Is Andre still here? Yeah, Andre. Yeah, if you guys remember Andre, it was like last summer because it was really hot. I think he's like located in like the South, so it was like really hot, and he would just wake up every morning in his underwear and just hop onto the live. Morning, Martha. Morning, Van Harwig. Morning, Angelo. Yeah, Dijon to the Zoom stopped asking if the camera wanted it on. Morning, Active. Morning, Kenny. All right, guys. So it is 6:29 right now, guys. Market is opening in about 1 minute. Looking over here at the higher time frames, we currently don't have a bias on the 1 hour. You can see over here that it's currently neutral. The 30-minute over here is still bearish, but it's starting to shift to the upside. And the 10-minute over here is bullish. So unfortunately, there's not going to be an entry for the breakout 2.0. If there was one, I'd mark it up for you guys. But as you guys can see, there's nothing here. Hey, Slava, morning. Going over here to the 1 minute. So with that said, since we don't have a breakout to follow, we're just going to be looking for our normal entries here. So with that said, let me go ahead and put up the momentum scalp failure, which is going to be the first one we're looking for. Second one's going to be the momentum scalp variation. And then after that, lastly, is going to be the momentum scalp. So, all right, guys, first of all, we want to confirm the overall trend, right? So looking over here at the charts, overall trend right now is currently bullish on the 10-minute because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green. The pivots are angling up. Same with the 5-minute over here. It's currently bullish because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green and the pivots are angling up. However, over here on the 1 minute, you can see that price is currently neutral, right? Price is neutral because price is in between the pivots. The trend meter down below is currently blue, and the price is like right in between, but the pivots going sideways. So with that said, we don't have an overall trend right now. Right now, the higher time frames are looking like a bullish trend. So we're waiting for the 1 minute here to possibly swing to the upside so that we can start looking for possible entries in that direction. So here's the opening price. I'm going to go ahead and mark up the opening price right there. All right, so the 10-minute here is bullish. The 5-minute here is bullish, and the 1 minute over here is starting to turn bullish. So if that's the case, that's great. We'll start looking for possible buys if that becomes the case and price pushes up higher. However, at the moment, we just don't have anything right now. There's technically a momentum scalp variation right here. That's, I mean, I guess you could consider it a momentum scalp variation. Not one I necessarily take because it's at the news price, but I'm going to go ahead and just break it down for you guys here so that you guys can see. So this happened pre-market. That's why we're not really looking to take it. But if you look closely, this right here, the sell signal was a momentum scalp failure. So if you were to set this up right here, you can see price was bullish prior pre-market. So with that said, this sell signal right here would have been the retracement momentum signal, and the volume over here would have been slightly below average, and that would be a momentum scalp failure entry. The entry that came up right after over here would technically be a momentum scalp variation, because this candle over here did close above the pivot. So everything lined up, everything was a bullish trend. Momentum was aligned as well, I believe. Let me check real quick. Actually, I take that back. So there's no momentum here. So there'd be no momentum scalp variation. There would be a momentum scalp failure, but not a momentum scalp variation. However, it was pre-market and it was right around news price. So it wouldn't have been an actual entry, but the setup right there would have been fine if these horizontal lines weren't here. So again, guys, just one thing to keep in mind and to remember is that you have to confirm everything on the checklist before taking the entry. And then also, if your entry lines up with any of these horizontal lines, the pink lines, the blue lines, or these sessions over here, which would be the purple line, red line, green line, purple line down here. Basically, any of the lines that go left to right, if your entry is going to be stuck in between any of those areas, then there's no entry for you, because those are going to be considered red flags. As you guys can see, whatever price gets near these horizontal lines, you'll see a lot of manipulation, right? So price pushes up here, it kind of fakes out, goes sideways. And then right here, you can see it does the same thing, fakes out and goes sideways before it comes back for a full-on reversal, right? So you don't want to trade at any of these areas right here where I've plotted my horizontal lines, because you'll see a lot of market manipulation happen around those points. So we just got to avoid those points right there. But again, as I mentioned, there's no entries for us to take at the moment. We're basically looking for price to, so because price is bullish over here on the 10-minute and 5-minute, I'm looking for price to be above on the 1-minute as well. So I need price to basically push above here, retrace, and continue. Once we have this setup over here where price is like way up here, then at this point, we can start looking for some possible buys, right? But at the moment, we don't currently have that. The reason why we're looking for this to play out is because we need an overall trend. Everything else is bullish. This right now is currently bearish because price is now below the pivots, trend meter below is red, and the pivots are angling down. So we need everything to line up. We either need everything to the upside or we need everything to the downside. We can't have one thing to the downside and everything else to the upside. So it's just going to be, a matter of patience and just a matter of waiting until we have that confirmation. But once we get that confirmation, then we can start looking for entries. So I'm technically looking for this to push above here. If this pushes above here, then we can start looking for some buys. But right now, price is currently bearish on the 1-minute time frame. However, looking over here on the higher time frames, 10 minutes still bullish, 5 minutes still bullish. Looking over here on the even higher time frames, the 1 hour here is neutral, 30-minute here is neutral, and the 10-minute here is bullish. So it looks like the 10-minute here might be leading. Price might just reject off the structure right there, but I mean, who knows, right? There's no confirmation yet. So we just got to wait. It's going to be a game of patience. There's a lot of news today. So I'm hoping like when news comes out later at, was it 6 o'clock, 6:45, it's going to push price, one direction or the other. I don't care whether price is above or below. I just want price to be far away from all of these red flags, which are these horizontal lines. So, let me just maximize this real quick. So I don't really care where price goes. I want price to either be, let me just move this a little higher. So I need price to either be above here, or I need price to be below here, right? One or the other. I just can't have price right here down the middle, because obviously all these red flags are here. If we look for a sell, we can't be trading around these areas where there's this red line, green line, pink line, purple line. And if we're looking for a buy, we can't be trading around this area where there's purple, blue, pink, etc. The red flags, I'm going to put them up right here. So these are the red flags. Basically, when to avoid trades: when price is near sessions, which is going to be this purple, green, and red line; when price is near opening price, which is going to be this blue line; when price is near news price, which is these pink lines; and when the candle prior to entry is too large, or when price is ranging. So looks like price might be bouncing around here for a bit before it swings, back to the upside. I think price will correct back to the upside, because looking over here at sentiment, Maddie referred to this earlier this morning. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 61% short, right? So if you guys don't know how to use this basically indicates where all the retail traders are trading within this broker. IG is one of the biggest brokers, worldwide. They used to be part of the US, but it looks like they're not accepting US clients anymore. Because when you refresh the page, it says from December 19, 2022, this website is no longer intended for residents of the United States. So I'm assuming they're not accepting US clients anymore, but it's still pretty big. It's still worldwide. This is a regulated broker, IG. You can see that there's 61% of retail traders who are currently, or 60% now, who are currently selling. So this will basically show you where everybody's trading. And most of you know that majority of people lose that trading, right? So you don't want to do what everybody's doing. You want to do the opposite. So since there's so many people selling here, I'm expecting price to correct back up. It's probably going to bounce off one of these structures, and then it's probably going to correct all the way back up. Target price point is going to be opening price right here. So that's kind of where we see, where I see price going. Rashida said breakout was full TP. Yeah, nice. I saw that up here, Rashida. There's just a lot of red flags around this area, so it's not one that I would have recommended people to take. But Rashida is good at spotting those breakouts. There was a sell signal right here with a strong red candle. So it followed by this opening candle right here, I believe. Yeah, this one. And then price came down from there. Full TP. So if you guys take the regular breakout, there's a regular breakout and breakout 2.0. Basically, what you're looking for is you're looking for momentum, and you're looking for a strong candle in that direction, which is right here. So Rashid identified that, and it just hit full TP right there. However, there's a lot of red flags. So it'd be a risky entry to take, in my perspective. So if you guys caught it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. I didn't catch it myself. It's not going to be any official trade. The only official trades that we're going to be looking for are going to be from these strategies right here. These three. If you guys are not confident with the strategies yet, the main one that I recommend you guys follow is going to be this one right here, the momentum scalp variation. This is going to be the highest probability trade. This one here is risky because this is going to be a counter trend trade. It's basically going to show, a switch in a different direction. So if price is dropping right here and price comes up and it comes back down, that's going to be an entry for a momentum scalp failure. But when price pushes up and down, that's going to be the first sign. So like this is going to be the first confluence, and then these two typically follow right after. So this one's probably like a 60 to 70% chance of winning. This one's a higher chance, probably 80% or higher. And then this one over here is typically price will be a bit overextended. So this will be a little bit lower as well. So this is the most risky. This is the safest, and this is the second most risky or second safest. But these all come in order. So this one will come first, and this will come after, and this one will come last. And that's how you guys will see where, it ends up going. Anyways, we have news right here at 6:45, guys. It's coming up in about 5 minutes. So no trades until news is passed. I'm hoping when that news comes out, it'll either spike price to the upside or it'll spike price to the downside. I don't really care where it goes. I just want price to be away from these sessions here, right? Basically, I need price to be away from here, and away from down here. Anything above or anything below, perfect. But anything within this area, it's going to be a no for us. Yeah, Maddie said no sells until it clears the sessions, no buys till it clears news and above the sessions. Yeah, exactly. Keonia is asking, so he switched to sells to take now? No, not exactly. So looking over here on the 10-minute and 5-minute, it's still bullish. So we're not looking for sells yet. I'm just saying if price drops below here, then price will drop below here on the 5 and 10 as well, right? So if that happens, then we can start looking for sells because the trend will shift to a sell side. Right now, it's neutral for the 5 and 10. It's technically still bullish because price is above the pivots. Trend meter's green, pivots are angling up. Same with the 5-minute over here. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter's green and the pivots are angling up. So technically right now it's still bullish, but it's starting to look neutral. So it's bullish neutral right now. And the 1 minute over here is starting to shift up. So until we have this confirmed, which direction price is going, then we'll start looking for entries. But right now there just is no confirmation of overall trend. So looking at the trend over here and then looking on the trend on the other time frames, there's just no alignment. Yeah, Nick said Dow is split down the middle. Numbers are leaning slightly towards the red side. Yeah, let's go check the fundamentals real quick. So looking over here on CNBC, you can see the Dow is currently up 22 points, S&P is up 10 points, Nasdaq's up 51 points, Russell 2K is down 25 points, and the VIX is up 1%. So overall, it looks like the indices are currently bullish right now. I think they're going to correct back up even higher. It's just going to be a matter of time until that happens. But we do have news coming up right here at 6:45 in the next 3 minutes. So once news does pass, it'll probably push price, one direction or the other. But at the moment right now, we just don't have a confirmation. So you can see over here that price is starting to reject off. So if you guys look at the confluence here, I think price will push up to maybe probably opening price, because we have price rejecting off the pivots right there. We have price rejecting off the pivots right there. And we have price rejecting off the pivots right here, right? So you have a triple confluence over here with price rejecting off the pivots. Where do you think price is going to go? I think price will push up, and the target price point is going to be opening price right here. Once price pushes above this area, then it's probably going to push up higher. So there goes, price pushes up. I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes up and hits the opening price. We do have news coming up shortly though, so this isn't one that I'd speculate on. If there was no news coming up right here, I would speculate on this move and I would take a quick 100 pip push. But since there is news coming up, definitely not going to mess with it, because a lot can happen off this news candle right here. So target price point is going to be opening price right there. That's where I expect price to push up to, because this is the nearest structure of price that needs to be tested. So I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up and tests the opening price. However, there is news right here, so that's why it's going to be a little risky. And you can see right there where price is going. It went exactly to where I said, right? It went exactly to the target price point. So the thing with these horizontal lines is, even though they're areas of manipulation, they act as magnets. So like whenever price is pushing that direction, you know where price is going to go, because I already marked it up right here. And there goes the target price point, went exactly there. Probably could have caught it for a quick 100 pips, but I'm not going to take that risk, right? It's just too risky. And if you look over here on the other time frames, it's doing the same thing, right? 10-minute rejecting off the pivots, 30-minute rejecting off the pivots, 1 hour rejecting off the pivots. So I'm expecting price to probably push up even higher. But we do have news coming up right here in 1 minute. So would not necessarily risk anything at the moment. Yeah, Maddie said I would not take speculatives if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, so don't just take random entries, guys. If you guys know where price is going, you have an idea, then, and it lines up with your trading strategy, then, go ahead and take your trades. But if you're just taking random trades because you're listening to my analysis here, it's probably not going to end well, because you're not going to know where to exit. So, all right, guys, news is coming up right here in about a minute. So once news passes right here, we'll start looking for possible entries, but we'll have to wait and see. We also have more news coming up at 7 o'clock. So we'll just have to wait and see. Lots of red flags around this area, like Maddie said. So, realistically, it's just going to be a game of patience right now as you wait for the news to happen. News is happening in about 2 seconds. 2, 1, 0. Here's a news candle right here. I'm glad that news happened right here on this area, so that we have all the red flags within one area right here. All right, so this is a news candle right here. Let's see how price reacts to the news. Let me pull up the news real quick. So news over here at 6:45, Chicago PMI. Medium impact news. News was negative. So it was already assumed that news was going to be negative because of the we're going to a recession and whatnot. I'm expecting price to probably push up to opening price again. It's going to be the next target price point. So we'll see. Is this the news candle right here? Yeah, this is the news candle right here. I'm expecting price to push up and reach opening price again right there. So just a disclaimer, guys, I did take a speculative move over here. I didn't tell you guys I was taking it because I don't want you guys taking risky moves. But the reason why I took that trade there is because I saw the rejection off the structure down here. So I saw price come down, reject off the pivot. And then as you remembered, I mentioned that there was an alignment here, right? Rejection off pivot, rejection off pivot. So, and a rejection on the higher timeframes over here as well off the pivots. So my analysis here for me to take that speculative move is that whenever price comes down and it gives a nice rejection off these pivots, it's going to reach this target price point again, right? It's going to act like a magnet. So whenever price pushes down and rejects off any of these lower structures, I'm expecting price to push up and reach this blue line. So I'm going for a quick 100 pips, just whenever price comes down. So like, for example, price rejected off this point. I took a quick buy there down here and it pushed right through my TP. These trades are not going to count because these are all speculative. They're not necessarily, there's no strategy to it. It's really just, I can see where price is going because I already know where the target price point is. This blue line is going to act as one of the strong target price points. So whenever you see a rejection off any of these points here, I'm looking for price to like bounce back up to that point. So price comes back down here, bounces off this point, break structure up here, then I'm expecting price to go again up to that blue line. So I'll take a screenshot of my profits, but those are all speculative moves. Obviously, if you guys are new here and you guys are not familiar with it, don't do anything like that. Only if you guys know what you're doing. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said this whole range is a kill zone. Nick said in between sessions, opening price and news candle. Yeah, it's just going to keep bouncing around that area. And you can see again right here, it did the same thing I just mentioned, right? Price came down right here. Look where it went to, the blue line. I missed that one though. So I didn't take that one as a speculative move. But you can see whenever price comes down and rejects off the pivots and news price, it comes right back to this area. So you can see whenever price pushes up, it's like easy to just catch 100 pips right there, right? So no official trade yet, guys. You know, as I mentioned before, we're waiting for a trend to be established. I kind of have an idea where the trend is going because it's bullish on all these time frames, right? So I'm basically just waiting for a confirmation here. There's no official entries yet, but when price finally pushes, you know, above this area, we'll have some official entries. Man, I hate TFF, guys. TFF gives the only account that gave me a loss off that scalp right there. I mean, there's going to be some slippage because the price is moving so fast. But let me take a screenshot of my account so far. But TFF, of course, gave me a loss there for whatever reason. So you can see right here, my main account, I locked in 770. This second one is my main account. All right, so yeah, my main account over here locked in 920, my FTMO number 2 locked in 770, my MFF's locked in 570 each account, and then my TFF came in negative 100, which typically happens. Their execution times are horrible. I don't think TFF really is useful for scalpers or day traders because their execution times are super late, and I think their spreads might be super wide as well. So I don't recommend TFF to people. A couple more profits over here from Keonia. So Keonia over here sent in her profit. She locked in a total profit of 64.20 on this account. And then she locked in 54 on this one, both full TPs. Nice work, Keonia. And then Nick over here, total profit of 1,280, all wins. Nice work, Nick. Yeah, he took some speculative moves as well. Rashid over here locking a total profit of 395 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Rashida. She took the breakout and then she took a quick buy earlier just now. And then Andreas over here as well took the buy. So it looks like a lot of you guys are actually taking those trades that I'm mentioning, the speculative moves, because you guys know what I'm doing. A lot of these people here are posting profits. These guys have been part of the group for a long time. So they're familiar with my analysis here. Andreas over here locking a total profit of 255. So nice work, Andreas. All right, so there's still nothing for us to take right here, guys. As you guys can see on the 1 minute, there's no direction of trend. The first requirement for pretty much all the strategies that we're applying here is to confirm the overall direction of trend, right? So we can't confirm the overall direction of trend right now for obvious reasons, because there is no overall direction of trend, right? Looking over here on the 1 minute, you can see price is still pretty neutral. It keeps going back and forth. There's no clear direction right now with the 1 minute. Market open right here at 630. Price kind of faked out right here, dropped a little bit, faked out down below, pushed back up, faked out, now it's back below opening price. So typically price will usually move one directional. It'll either keep dropping lower or it'll keep pushing up, but right now there's no direction. Market open right here at this blue line. So you can see price hasn't really gone too far from this point since market open. We have another news event right here at 7 o'clock. Hopefully when this news event comes out, it'll happen within this area and then it'll push price far away from where it's currently at. Because we really need we need price to be above here, or we need price to be below here. Until that happens, we're not going to have a trend. However, looking over here on the higher time frames, you can see that price is still pretty bullish, right? Because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. So my guess is that price is going to be upwards at some point. You know, eventually its price is going to be bullish, but at the moment, there's no confirmation of that yet. So we pretty much have to just wait for that confirmation. Once we have that confirmation of direction, then we can move on to the next step. But first and foremost, we got to confirm the overall trend, which we don't have here yet. So what I'll do here is, since we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and send in my profits for that speculative move. It's not an official move, so it's not really a big deal. I just want to show you guys what I locked in off that. There's some slippage here because my profits were supposed to be 1,000, but you know, obviously it closed me out for a partial profit. So let me go ahead and screenshot my accounts real quick. And I'll show you the green strip to show you guys that it actually hit TP. I was aiming for 100 pips, but there was slippage and it just kicked me out for less. So with my TFF, I'm just going to keep milking that account until, like, I mean, it's gonna keep getting bled if I keep getting undercut profits, or if I just keep getting hit with losses. So I mean, we'll see if my TFF lasts. But this time around, if my TFF doesn't last, I'm not going to open another one because they keep having issues. There's no point in, you know, obviously trading with them. All right. All right, so let me go ahead and post up my profits real quick. Still no entries for us, so you guys aren't necessarily missing anything. Still no movement. We have news coming up right here in about 5 minutes, guys. So I'd probably just give it some time. Let the news come, and then we'll obviously go from there. All right, so I posted up all my accounts right here so that you guys can see the individual accounts. So here's my main account. You can see I locked in 970. It should have been $1,000 profit, but there was some slippage, so it just gave me 970 on this one. This is my FTMO number 1. Here's my FTMO number 2, locked in 770. Here's my MFF number 1, 570. MFF number 2, 570. MFF number 3, 570. And then my TFF, they always typically give me a negative, like, I don't know. You always have to add like an extra 100 pips on top of whatever you're taking to make any profit. So it's like impossible to make profit with them if you're going for like a quick scalp. Even though I made 970 here, you guys can see the big difference, right? Went from 970 to negative 100. So this is not TFF is not a trustworthy. Well, I wouldn't say they're not trustworthy. I would just say that they're not good for scalpers. So if you're going to scalp or you're going to day trade, TFF is probably not going to be for you. You guys, this happens almost every day. It's not like a one-time instance. This literally happens every day. You guys can see my profits from last week as well. So last week it was actually okay. They gave me 1,000 last week, and I made 1,300 on that trade. But the day before that, you can see I got negative 700 when I made 610, right? It just doesn't make sense. But it's all good. I mean, it is what it is. All right. All right, so I'm just gonna give a little update here for you guys. But just don't worry, guys, there's no official trades yet. So like this little trade I took earlier was just a speculative move. It wasn't necessarily anything official, because we don't have an overall trend yet. Once we have an overall trend, we can start looking for entries, but at the moment, we just don't have that. All right. So now we're just pretty much waiting again for confirmation. Let's see, we got news coming up right here shortly. See, Zach over here is currently at 1,932. Nice recovery right there, Zach. Yeah, so solid recovery right there. I know you took a loss yesterday, but you made it right back, at least some of it. So just another win, I think, and you should be back in profit. Jonathan's asking, he's wondering if, I think, I forgot what they're called, top tier funding. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never used any of those other companies, guys, so I can't really say. Jonathan's wondering if they're better. I mean, who knows? They might be. They don't allow copiers though, so that's why I can't use them. You know, if the company doesn't allow copiers, there's no point in me using them, because then I got to undercut my other accounts. So yeah, I don't know anybody personally who's used them, so I don't know if they're reliable or not. So I can't really say anything. I'm assuming they'd be okay though, because I don't really see too many complaints. Okay, gotcha. Rashida said they do allow copiers now. All right, I'm gonna check them out. I heard that they do allow copiers, but you have to use them as your main account, which is kind of an issue, because if their execution times are not good, like TFF, it's just gonna affect all my other accounts. So I'll have to check with them, because if they do allow copiers and they don't have to be the main account, then maybe I'll try them out. But yeah, from what I heard in the past is that they require it to be the main account. So I mean, we'll see. Let me scroll over here real quick. Parker said he's got an orange momentum on the 1 minute, but the 10-minute hasn't confirmed a bearish momentum. Yeah, so for this one right here, this is the one you're talking about, right? The 1 minute right here that's currently running, Parker. The reason why it's having that is because it's pending right here as well. So you can see the signal right here, it changes. Sometimes it'll be gold and sometimes it'll go back to red, because whenever it actually just confirmed right now, Parker, this one. So now it's going to be gold every time it comes up, because I was looking at it as well. It would go from gold to red sometimes, because this here would sometimes be red and then sometimes it would disappear. So when it disappears here, it turns just red. But when it's red here, it turned gold. But now that it is actually closed as red, it's going to now come up as gold every time it comes up. So yeah, the thing with this here, guys, so that's a question that I get a lot from a lot of people. They always ask, like, hey, how come this is coming up as a gold indicator, but this here hasn't closed yet? The thing that becomes an issue is because there's going to be pending signals on these other time frames. So like if there's a pending signal here on the 10 and a pending signal on the 5 and also a pending signal on the 1, then it's going to come up as gold. But in other instances, it's not going to come up. Like, for example, if this here is green and this is red and this one's turning red, so this will change between, you know, the color, or it'll turn gold. So overall, the indicator is accurate though. It's just some of these are going to be pending sometimes. That's why you'll see this one sometimes close as a color, because this one here is still pending, but this candle had closed before the other candle had closed. So that's why it'll kind of come up a little differently sometimes. Looks like price is starting. Well, I mean, it's trying to come back down, but I don't know if it'll hold. So it's 7 o'clock right now. This is a news candle. Got more news right here. And we will see, where this ends up going. Yeah, Keonia said working towards her second account to get funded feels good to be disciplined. Yeah, no, exactly. Once you guys find the discipline and consistency with trading, guys, trading becomes like really fun because you just rinse and repeat the process every day. So if you guys have seen how I trade every morning, I do the same thing. So it's like the same rinse and repeat process. So I don't really do anything different. And my profits are pretty consistent, right? So you'll see every day I have at least like maybe 1 to 3 trades because I'm just repeating the process every single morning. So yeah, no, I agree with Keonia a lot with that. I feel like a lot of people, the main problem with people who trade is they'll make profits with me in the morning. And then even though I tell people to stop trading after 8, they keep trading and then they end up losing all the profits. So I feel like majority of people who trade, especially here in the group, you guys know how to win trades and you guys know how to make money. However, you guys don't know how to keep it, right? Because I've seen so many people, it's crazy. Like people will make profits all throughout the week. And then on Friday, they try to do their own thing and they end up blowing all the profits. And a lot of times they just blow their account because they start revenge trading. So, take Keonia's message as like a word of advice, just find discipline and consistency. Once you find that, just rinse and repeat what you're doing every single day. And, the profits will come. That's why for me, I don't really look at profits. You guys can see here, like I was supposed to make 1,000 across each account, but I'm not really mad about it that I made, 970, 770, 570, etc. I know there was slippage there because I'm focusing on the wins. So I think the main thing that you guys got to look at, like, for example, I took a loss here, but I'm not really upset about it. I knew it was going to happen because it always happens on that specific account. I think your main goal, guys, should be to focus on wins. Just focus on wins. Don't focus on the profit or the monetary value of each trade. Because at the end of the week, if all you do is win and you have, a very minimal amount of losses, you'll end up in profit either way. You'll always end up in profit. And that's kind of how it's been for me. That's why I'm able to stack multiple accounts. Before I only had 2 accounts. Now I have 6 because I just keep winning and I just keep getting funded on all these other companies. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said people got to learn to love their growth more than their daily P&L. Yeah, no, same here. I mean, if I make 1 win a day, that's fine because I already know I'm making 1,000 across all my accounts, right? So like I already have the number set in my mind. Like if I ever win 1 trade across all my accounts, I'm already going to lock in at least 1,000. So I'd rather lock in 1,000 that way than, going to a regular job. And then we're only trading from 6:30 to 8. So you're technically only working like an hour a day. So an hour of work a day to make as much as, majority of people who work a normal job. I think it's a good exchange. And then once you have multiple accounts, you can start to stack up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. There's just nothing for us to look at right now, guys. Unfortunately, there's no confirmation of anything here. As you guys can see here on the 10 and 5 minute, it's still bullish. Prices above the pivots, trend meters are green. Prices above the pivots here, trend meters green. However, the pivots here are no longer angling up. They're kind of just going sideways. Here on the 1 minute, price is still bearish. So there's no alignment of trend. This is bearish. I mean, this is bullish, and this is bearish. So everything needs to be lined up. Either everything needs to be bullish going to the upside or everything needs to be bearish coming to the downside. But until we have that, we're not going to be able to look for any entries here. I was hoping that the news today would push price in one direction or the other, but there just hasn't been any of that happening, right? Price kind of just goes back and forth. There's no clear direction. Looking over here on the higher time frames, looks like price is starting to be bearish actually. So looking over here on the 1 hour and the 30 minute, price is below the pivots. Pivots are angling down. And the trend meter is red. So right here it's bearish, right here it's bearish, and the 10 minute here is actually bullish. Yeah, Nick said looks like poo. Dejan said damn markets are trash. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, no, definitely, Dejan. If you don't feel comfortable trading in this market, which I don't even feel comfortable myself, I mean, today might just be it. Well, here's the thing. I don't like saying that too early in the morning. Because what will happen is I'll say that and then people will get off the live session. And then as soon as you get off the live session at like 7:30, all these trades come in, right? this is kind of what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. So if you guys have seen my profits from like the past couple of weeks, so from last week, if you guys ever see when we post our wins, so our trade over here that happened on January 23rd, I think this was like Tuesday of last week. You can see the timestamp. This trade came up at 7:58. It's currently 7:07 right now. So we have a lot of time until it gets to that point. Looking over here as I scroll higher, the day before that, we had a trade that came up at 7:47. The day before that, or the week before that, actually, we had trades that came up at 8:09. So after 8 o'clock, 8:08, 8:08. So a lot of these trades, like the market starts to move smooth as we get later into the session. The day before that, we had trades at 7:55, 7:55, etc. So like a lot of these trades come super late. This trade over here was like the earliest one we had. It was at 7:17. So what I'd recommend, guys, is just be patient and disciplined. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. But I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't knock the market just yet because it's still early. It's 7:07. And typically, if the trades don't come right away, they're going to come eventually. There's usually at least one setup every day. Like if you wait long enough, the setup will come. It's just a matter of being patient and disciplined, waiting for this stuff to play out. So looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see obviously price is bullish. Price is above the pivots, rejecting off the pivot right here. Same with the 5-minute over here, price is above the pivots, rejecting off the pivot here. So here on the 1 minute, if you can get a confluence of price pushing up, so I can see right here that volume is starting to increase. Target price point is going to be opening price again, right? I mean, there's no confirmation price will actually push up there yet because there's no catalyst here, but you can see prices rejecting off the pivots again here and volume is starting to increase. So if that becomes the case and it starts to push up higher, my guess is that price will push at least to opening price up there. That's pretty much where I see it happening. Let me see where the range is currently at right now. Yeah, the only thing here to be careful for is going to be obviously these red flags. There's news price right here, news price down here, sessions right there. But if price does push up, I think eventually, target price point will be opening price right here. But there's no catalyst for entry right now. So obviously not really a time to enter any trades. Nick said lots of liquidity up top once it breaks Asia high. And if it does, yeah, and I can see that too. So this is what I think. If price pushes above here, like if price gets to this point, it's going to knock out all this liquidity, right? Because there's a lot of liquidity sitting right here. Like there's a ton of liquidity over here, like where people are going to get stopped out. But you can see there's no direction here. I wouldn't be surprised if price rejects directly off this pink line and then comes all the way back up. So I'm expecting a rejection off there and then having it push right back up to this area, right? But we're not speculating here. So we just got to wait and see the market play itself out. But there's just nothing right now. But you can see where it's rejecting off, right? This is why we don't trade at these horizontal lines, guys. Look how price came down to this pink line. This was news price over here at 5:30. See this big candle? Price pretty much just corrected back down. So right here, this is where price is technically supposed to be. So price is technically supposed to be right here, right? Price was going sideways. And then when that news happened right here at 5:30, this huge candle, price pushed up. And then now it corrected right back down to where it's supposed to be. So now price is pretty much leveled out. And then at this point, I think we'll start to have some sort of direction. But again, this is why we don't trade at these red flags, right? Because you can see how price came down right here. It faked out. And if this closes as a double body, this could be a reversal pattern and price can swing all the way back up. This would technically be a V1, right? If you guys remember my my variation strategies. It's a double bottom right there, pending buy signal. Quick 100 pips. Yeah, if you guys are familiar with the V1 variation, that'd be a V1 variation right there. Confirm overall bias. Obviously, it's bullish on the higher time frames. Confirm the high low. There's a high low right there. Double body right there. Confirm pending momentum. And there you go, full TP. So I have a lot of strategies here. Like these are the strategies we're applying here in the live session. But if you guys are old members and you guys know my other strategies, I have a whole list of strategies. You have like 20 strategies you can apply and they all work. Yeah, Maddie said he caught it for 100 pips. He used my analysis, lined up with his. Thanks for confirming. Yeah, definitely, Maddie. So Maddie made a quick profit off that. These are reversal patterns. Whenever you guys see a double body like this, and you have the overall bias for a buy, because we already assumed price was going to be bullish. If you can assume that, then odds of it hitting are very likely. So I'm probably expecting price to push up a little higher. I think target price point would probably be the news price up there. And then from there, next target price point is going to be the opening price. So, I mean, we'll see where price ends up going around here. There's no guarantee it's going to play out, but I think what might happen here is price will fill this candle, this big one right here, right? So we had a big red candle right here. You got a reversal pattern right there. So this is going to fill that red candle basically. Just going to push up, fill that red candle, and then continue up higher. Target price point would be the news price right there on that side. So I took another speculative trade right here, guys, for a quick 100 pips. I don't want you guys to get FOMO from me posting these profits. That's why I'm not really telling you when I'm entering these trades. If you guys listen to my analysis is playing out perfectly, right? So I already identified this reversal pattern right here. I identified that variation entry. And since we had this reversal right here, I said price was going to fill this candle and reach this news price. So that's why I took it for a quick 100 pips. Again, this is an advanced way of trading. So if you guys are new here, a lot of you guys are here part of the mentorship. Eventually you guys will be able to identify stuff like this. If you guys sit in on enough live sessions with me, you'll see my analysis play out, because my analysis is usually on point. Because I see these patterns play out like almost every day. So looking at this here, the reason why I identified price to push up again was because we had a rejection off pivot here on the 1 hour, rejection off the pivot on the 30-minute, rejection off we had the reversal pattern right here on the 10. See the double body? And then looking on the lower time frames, going from a top-down analysis, we had the reversal pattern on pretty much all these time frames here: the 5-minute double body, 10-minute double body, 1-minute double body. So you think about it, you have 3 confluences of a reversal pattern, right, on 3 different time frames: 1 minute, 5-minute, 10-minute. Plus you have the rejection here on the 30-minute and 1 hour. Odds of it pushing up are very likely, and that's why it pushed up to this point right here. So I locked in a quick profit off there, guys. There's no official trades yet. I'm hoping we can get at least one official trade. We can get at least one official trade in, but I'm pretty much just scalping within the market when I see these little opportunities. So like target price point, again, as I mentioned, was opening price, or it was news price. Next target price is going to be opening price up here. So we'll we just got to wait and see where this thing plays out at, but there's just nothing here for us to follow. Yeah, Maria said she caught it as well. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, Maddie said new members who are staying disciplined and not trading right now. Good job. Yeah, and I agree, Maddie, 100%. I feel like the biggest problem for a lot of traders is they don't know how to stay out of the market. I can warn you guys as much as possible to stay out of the market, but a lot of people will still enter and try to do what we're doing because we make it look easy, but it's really not as easy as it looks. Sheena's asking, how do you get the text boxes for the strategies in TradingView? Can we copy and paste them from you? All the strategies are in the course, Sheena. So I did all of this myself. All of these strategies right here, I just typed them up like I did for these right here. And then I just save them as a text. So you can't, you could create them yourself, because all the strategies are listed. Like if you look over here, well, I don't think you're in the premium group, but if you're in the premium group over here, I posted up like a list of all the strategies here. But you need the indicators to apply the strategy. So unless you have the indicators, you're not going to be able to apply the, I don't remember where it's at. Let me see if I type in draft. There we go. So I listed pretty much all the strategies here. This is from March though, so this obviously needs to be updated, but all the strategies are right here. So a lot of people will just copy these, like they just copy it. They'll open a text box and then they'll just paste it there for the strategies. So, I mean, if you're in the premium group, Sheena, you can get them there. You just need to type in draft, and then it'll pull up the draft of all their strategies. But the ones that we're applying here in the live session are just going to be these right here. So there's price right there. It went straight to opening price, right? Target price point where I mentioned, it went exactly there. So we had the reversal pattern right here, double body, rejected off the news price, and then it filled this candle and shot all the way up to opening price right there. So as you guys can see, price is now pushing back to the upside. This is exactly what we were looking for. We were waiting for price to correct back up here. So now that price is pushing up higher, we're going to look for any possible entries as we get out of this whole basically red flag area. Oh, gotcha, Sheena. Yeah, Sheena. So since you are in the premium group, you know, what I recommend is just go over to the course. I don't think, well, I mean, it depends on you. Like if you're comfortable with applying any of the other strategies, Sheena, you should probably be on the Zoom then, because I see you here on the YouTube, Sheena. The YouTube is delayed. So just an FYI, guys, if you guys are on the YouTube is delayed about like 30 seconds. So whenever I say anything, you guys are hearing it like super late. So if you guys are in the premium, make sure to join the Zoom, because the Zoom's real time. Like there's no delay in the Zoom. But anyways, so Sheena, when you go to the course right here, all the strategies are listed here. So you can pretty much go to like any of these videos and everything's pretty much explained here, depending on like which strategy you want to apply. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is that all these strategies are pretty much the same thing. They just have different entry points. So there's just different criteria and different requirements to follow, but they're pretty much the same thing. What I'd recommend is you just focus on these strategies right here, because these are the main ones that we apply on the live session. But, you know, if you want access to any of these other strategies, they're all available to you. Like these variation strategies, that was one of the main strategies. All three of them, we have variation 1, 2, and 3. Those were the ones that we applied mainly last year. Yeah, pretty much all last year. So if you go to the course, where's it at? It's going to be under scalp strategy. So you go over here to KC Trade Scalp Strategies. You'll see the variation V1, variation V2, variation V3. And then there's a video for all the strategies right there if you want to go check them out. But yeah, the course is going to be a really big resource to you and to pretty much everyone, because all of my strategies are lined up over here if you want to learn any of them specifically. Yeah, no problem, Sheena. D said it's tempting to start playing just to get my feet wet, but yeah, I'm still trying to learn the strategies, especially which strategy you use and recognizing the scenarios to use them in. Yeah, Maddie said she uses 0.01 lot, D. So like what I'd recommend is either open a demo. Yeah, you should probably open a demo account first or a trial account, and then just take like these 0.01 lot sizes, because you'll be risking pennies for those trades. So you can still play around and, you know, get your feet wet, just taking these smaller lot sizes, and you don't have to really worry about it. Because if you're taking a 100 lot like me, you're going to be risking like, you know, hundreds to thousands. But if you're taking a 0.01, you're going to be risking like a few pennies. So it's not a big deal if you win or lose a trade. It's just all practice. All right, we got some profits over here from Alan. Nice work, Alan. So Alan over here, total profit of 38.49 for the day. Great work. He took some gold trades earlier this morning and last night, it looks like. One small loss right there, not too bad. You bounced right back on that next trade right there. And then from this morning, Alan took this buy entry at 7:14 about 6 minutes ago, locked in a total profit of 28, pretty much overhauled all your profits here up to 38.49. Nice work, Alan. So Alan over there, great work. We have Vincent over here. Vincent locked in 96.42 on this account. Nice work, Vincent. And then over here as well, Vincent locked in 175 full TP on this next move. Smooth move right there. So the trades that Vincent took here was this buy entry here. He basically applied the intraday scalp, and then he took another one right here. So he's basically taking all these buy entries above the pivots. So solid work right there, Vincent. Kip over here locking a total profit of 1,792 for the day. Nice work, Kip. We got Rashida over here, total profit of 737 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Rashida. We've got Patricia over here, total profit of 2,075 for the day, all wins. Wow, nice. So I like seeing this right here, Patricia, with all the green strips. You pretty much just let them all run a full TP. So I was like kind of awed by this because sometimes you'll see some people who exit early and you won't have all green strips, but Patricia over here just let all of her trades run a full TP. So solid work right there, Patricia. Looks like you probably had some pending orders right there. They just filled and then triggered your liquidity. Yeah, it looks like that's what you did right here, right? Or maybe not. I could be wrong. But it looks like these are similar to like liquidity pushes, because I could see a lot of the liquidity getting knocked out right here. We've got Eunice over here, total profit of 276 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Eunice. But you guys, just an FYI. So there's no official trades that we've taken yet, right? A lot of these trades that everyone's taking are just based off my analysis. If I say price is going to go in a certain direction and that aligns up with their analysis, then, they're free to take that trade. Same with you guys. But if you guys don't know what you're doing yet, it's not going to be easy for you guys to hop into anything specific right now. So just wait for these official entries. They're going to come up eventually. We just need price to push above all of these lines right here. Maddie over here locking a total profit of 307 on this account, all wins. And then Maddie's second account over here locked in 510, all wins as well. Nice work, Maddie. All right, solid work, guys. Let me scroll up real quick, see if there's anything else here. Maria over here, nice work, Maria. Yeah, she circled the green strip, so she let this trade run to full TP. If you guys sat in on the mentoring session, or I think the session yesterday, I asked Maria, what was up with her profits. She was saying that she was cutting out of her positions early, right? Today she made improvement and she let her trades run to full TP. Whenever you see a green strip right here, this means that the person who took the trade is just letting that run to their target. They're not closing out early. So Maria over here finally, trusted her trade, let that trade hit, and then she locked in 100 to 1 for the day. Nice work, Maria. We have Nick over here. Nick said he's always liked the variation as well as liquidity being on top of it feels like the move. Also numerous pivot scalp strategies coming up. Exactly. So Nick over here locked in 2,040 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Nick. Yeah, from this morning, looks like you took the breakout. So you locked in a quick sell at 630, 643. You locked in some nice buys over here, 646, 612, 712, and 713. So solid moves right there, Nick, for your trades so far. Cameron over here as well. Cameron's currently up 1,286 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Cameron. So great work, guys. I mean, it's good to see a lot of you guys here still locking in profits, even though there's not really much to take here. It seems like a lot of you guys are just listening to my analysis and hopping into trades as you guys see price come around. As you guys can see, whenever price pushes in certain directions, these horizontal lines that I have up on my chart are going to act as target price points, right? So like whenever price pushed up right here, I mentioned price was going to go to opening news price and then opening price. And then if you kept writing it up higher, it went all the way up to this news price right here. And then it came back down. As price came back down, it did the same thing, but in the other direction, right? So it's just going to be a matter of some patience here. Yeah, Jessica said Patricia is always killing it. Yeah, no, Patricia is always on point. Patricia is one of the people who's been with me for like the longest. I think a lot of you guys here are new, and a good handful of you guys have been with me from the very beginning. So Patricia has been trading with me for, I mean, I can't even count the years anymore. Like almost 5 years now. It seems like 3 to 5 years. Yeah, Gary said he seldom sees Patricia losses from Patricia. Yeah, definitely. Patricia is very on point with her consistency and discipline. So definitely great work there. Let's see. Alan said, Sean, I'm in New York, but can you recommend a broker overseas that takes USA clients? I see one member that did a 0.01 lot size. Yeah. So for my personal account, it's not going to be a regulated broker, but I personally use Hanko Trade. Hanko Trades, they're pretty decent. I mean, they have good execution times. I used to have it on my copier before, so it would copy the trades alongside my FTMO and all these other accounts that I have, and it would be perfectly fine. So the main one that I used before that was Hugo's Way. Hugo's Way was okay, but then they started having some withdrawal issues where they were kind of lagging on sending out payment, so I stopped using them. And I started using Hanko Trade. So Hanko Trade's pretty solid. I would recommend using the, I forgot which account. I think it's called like Super ECN. It's the one that charges you commission, but you have like the tightest spreads and best execution times. Yeah, it's called Hanko Trade. Let me see if I pull up the Yeah, I'll post it right here, Alan. HenkoTrade.com. This is the one that I use. The account use that I have is ECN Plus. They charge you commissions, but you have like the tightest spreads and it's pretty quick and on point. It's one that I use. Martha over here, locking a total profit of, 1 second, guys. Martha over here locked in a total profit of 1,460 for the day. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, great work, guys. Looks like a lot of you guys here are locking in profits, even though, you know, there might not be official profits all around, but you guys are still doing pretty good. So no official trades yet, but, you know, we're getting to that point. It's going to be a matter of time until market starts to move directional. Nice. Maddie said he's at 1% for the day. Solid. Ahmad's asking, can you start copy trading service through Henko Trade? Yeah, I don't see why not. You could if you wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, you could. The thing with copy trading is that so if you're doing a copy trader with like a funded company, I mean, it's not allowed, but if you were able to do it, you'd be cut off at a certain amount, right? So like if like your accounts just get corrupted or something like that, or you're not able to execute your trades, you're pretty much capped at your losses. If you start to do a copy trading service on like a personal broker, like a regular broker, a lot of bad can happen, right? Especially if the accounts don't copy over. Because if you guys remember, some of you guys who've been part of the group for a while, there was like a scammer that was in the group a long time ago. Like he basically he was running a scam company and he was doing a copy service. It was out in the UK. I forgot his name, but a lot of his people from his group ended up joining our group, like I think 3 or 4 years back. He had a PAM account, like a copier service, like you're mentioning, Ahmad. And like during like COVID, there was like these huge spikes in the market. And what happened is his copier didn't copy. So like everyone just basically blew their account. So I think they lost like 15 million euros or something. And he was like all over the news scamming people. So I probably wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, yeah, it's possible. Those are called PAM accounts. So like, you know, basically like your main account would copy to like all the other accounts, but there's a lot of risk that's involved in trading that way, especially if you have like thousands of people like attached to the copier. All right, so let me just take a screenshot of my profit so far for the day. So these are my profits here, guys. Again, you know, I just want to remind you guys, there's no official trades yet, so I don't want you guys to think that you guys are really missing out on anything. You're not. These are just profits that I've taken so far. A lot of these little speculative moves that we've been following. Price is now above the structure here. This is the news candle. So another news candle right here, and this is the last news of the day. So it's 7:30 right now. We have 30 minutes till 8. Hopefully when price pushes up right here, we'll be able to look for some entries. We just need price to stay above here, right? It needs to stay above opening price. If we can get this confirmed or price stays above here, we can start looking for some possible buys. So looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see price is currently bullish. So we have a bullish trend and we have bullish momentum. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Same with the 5-minute over here. You can see that price is above the pivots, trend meters green, and the pivots are angling up. Lastly, here on the 1-minute, you can see the same thing. Price again is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. So we have a bullish trend here on pretty much all 3 timeframes. So we're definitely looking for buys here. We've been waiting for this to play out, but we need price to actually stay above this area. If it stays above this area, we can start looking for some buys. And then also going over here to the higher timeframes, you can see that price is starting to shift as well to the upside. This is kind of what we were anticipating and waiting for, and it's finally here. So basically what we're looking for at this point is we need a buy signal here on the 10-minute to confirm momentum for the momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp. But if we get price to push up higher and to stay up there, then we should be able to get that shortly. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We just got to make sure that price stays above here. If it doesn't, then we just got to wait for price to actually push up and stay above there. But at the moment, there just isn't anything for us to for us to really confirm yet, because there's no price confirmation. Let me go ahead and sorry guys, I got a message up here. All right, let me just screenshot my accounts real quick. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Main thing that we're waiting for is for price to stay above here. You can see price kind of came up. And again, here's another example of why we don't trade around these horizontal lines, right? So you see whenever price reaches this pink line right here, or any of these pink lines, there's two pink lines here, pink lines and purple lines. Whenever price gets near these areas, see how price fakes out? Price will push up, reject off it, come down super heavy, price push up, fake out off that, push down super heavy. Again, over here, price comes around these areas. And then whenever price gets near these points, it comes down super heavy. But the problem with this here is that you never know when price is going to finally break out of it, right? So, while I see a lot of people take rejection entries off these lines here, eventually price is going to break right through. And when it does break right through, you're going to be screwed because it's going to be such a big push to the upside. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. We're waiting for this to play out, for price to, obviously stay above here. Yeah, no problem, Patricia. Yeah, Patricia said, sorry, Sean was trading when you were talking. Been with you since the beginning, and thank you. Yeah, no, definitely, Patricia. Patricia is like a clear example. I can probably name who's been here from the very beginning, like off the top of my head, like C-Soup, CT, Kip, Patricia, everybody. And that's why I'm excited to like move into this next space with you guys once we start our own like prop firm. So that's the goal. Basically, the goal is to just get everybody trading the same way. And then we pretty much just repeat the process daily. Yeah, and Slava as well. Slava's been here for a long time too. I remember Slava. Slava's known for jumping in like ice cold ice every morning, ice cold like lakes every morning. If you guys have seen Slava before, this guy's always jumping into like freezing lakes in the middle of winter. Yeah, I know, Maddie. Yeah, I noticed that too. Slav said just to stay cool when trading. Yeah, no, exactly. All right, guys. So price still isn't above here. I'm just waiting for price to get above this point. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. 7:35 right now, so we have about 25 minutes till 8. If we don't have any entries by 8, I'll probably stay on for a little longer to see if we can have at least one entry. But if not, I'm not going to force any trades. Just a reminder, today's Tuesday, so we have like 3 more days ahead of us. So there's no need to force anything unless the market really gives us something to execute on. But there just isn't anything to take right now. You're going to get days like this, guys. So just keep in mind that there will be days throughout the year where you're not going to have any entries. And then you're going to have days when you're going to have a lot of entries. So it's going to make up for those days that are kind of slow. But the main thing is just focusing on not over trading and not taking stuff that's like not even there. Because you guys will start to notice sometimes that eventually you're going to start to like see things that are not actually there, because you're so dialed in on trying to take a trade for the day. So what I recommend is to not force anything. If your requirements aren't met, then no entry, right? So like, for example, here, out of all of our strategies, the first requirement that we're looking for here is going to be confirm overall trend, right? Confirm overall trend, confirm overall trend. So until we confirm overall trend, we can't move on to step two. So that's why I'm waiting for price to push above here, because looking over here on the higher time frames, the 10-minute and the 5-minute, we do have an overall trend here because price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green on both time frames, and the pivots are angling up. So with that said, we have price pushing up right here. However, on the 1-minute, it doesn't align, right? Price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up, but it's not necessarily staying above there, right? You can see price continues to drop below. So like, for example, right here, price dropped below at this point. Price again is dropping below at this point. It doesn't stay above this area. So in order for us to confirm the bullish trend, we need price to actually stay above here. So until we have that, there's no entries for us to take. So, like I mentioned earlier, you guys are going to get really impatient. You're going to want to take some trades, but realistically, if your requirements aren't met, so if you don't even meet requirement 1, then there's no point in even looking for any entries here. So that's why I'm waiting for price to actually stay above here. Once it does, then great. We'll look for some entries. But at the moment, we just don't have that yet. I'll turn on my alerts here to let me know when price pushes around. Yeah, Kip said, Mama said there'd be days like this. Exactly. Yeah, Maddie, 100%. Yeah, Maria said heading into 2 years. Yeah, Justin said he took a break. He's been in and out for 4 years-ish. Yeah, no, Justin too, exactly. A lot of you guys here have been here for the longest time, because the thing with me is I don't actively advertise the group to people anymore. So I'm pretty satisfied with the community that we have here. That's why I just want to focus on you guys, make sure everyone here makes profit. But I don't necessarily look for outside people to come and join. If you guys have friends and family that want to join the group, they're more than welcome to join the group. But I'm not necessarily looking for a bunch of random people to join, because I think the community is better this way. I like the community to be smaller and close knit, so that whenever you guys have problems with trading, I can help you out directly. Versus if we had like thousands of people in here, it'd be difficult for me to really help people out because there'd be so many people asking for help. Yeah, Jonathan said he's been here since COVID. It all started with Instagram. Exactly. Yeah. Kip said, unsure of direction, especially with a 10-minute daily in play. Yeah, is the daily running right now, Kip? Yeah, there's actually a 10-minute sell that's currently running. Yeah, it's definitely a little unsure, because there's no clear direction here. Because looking on the higher time frames, I mean, price is still technically bearish. You can see price is still kind of going sideways, but the trend meter is still red. The 1 hour here is still below the pivots, and there's actually a double rejection here. There's a wick rejection off the top pivots and a wick rejection off the bottom pivots as well. Yeah, exactly. Kip said not recommending trading the daily, but it's been strong lately, so it's not a good confluence. Yeah, no, I agree with you too, Kip, 100%. All right, 740 right now. Let me check the shorter charts and see where we're currently at. Yeah, again, we still don't have price above here. You can see there's no direction. So here, this is what I'll do. I'll mark up. So this is market open right here. And I'll just turn off all the indicators here. Oops. Yeah, let's turn everything off so that you guys can see that there's like no direction at all. So basically from 6:30 to 8, you can see how price kind of just goes back and forth, right? So price kind of dropped below, came back up, came back below, came back up, and then now it's going sideways. I mean, realistically, price pretty much has just been going sideways around this range right here. So price will tend to fake out. So you can see right here, price comes down, fakes out, comes back up to the range, comes back below, fakes out again, comes back to the range. But this area right here is basically the middle point. This is like baseline for price for today. There's just no direction. I mean, price keeps going back and forth, which is kind of annoying. You'd expect price to actually go in a direction, especially with news. But I think what's happening here is that the market is setting up for NFP. So on Friday and Thursday, we're going to start to get some pretty big movements in the market. And the reason for that is because we have a lot of high impact news events coming up. I mean, we had high impact news today, but it didn't really push price as much as I would have wanted. But yeah, looking over here on the calendar, tomorrow we have news again in the morning. We have ADP non-farm employment change at 5:15. We have final manufacturing PMI inflation news at 6:45. We have ISM manufacturing PMI high impact at 7, JOLTS job openings. This is going to indicate how many jobs are open right now in the US. So this is going to be a good indicator to identify how the economy is doing, right? If people are hiring, then the economy is doing a little better. If people aren't hiring, which you can see right here. So for last month, JOLTS job openings was at 10.46 million. It's now at 10.28 million. So with that said, we're obviously losing jobs here because people aren't hiring as much, right? A lot of people are laying people off because of the recession. And then we have the Fed statement tomorrow as well at 11 o'clock. So we got a lot of news coming up tomorrow, which is probably going to finally push price in a direction. And then Friday and Thursday, of course, NFP is going to push price super heavily. So if you guys remember, whenever we have NFP, typically either it's going to be very volatile in the beginning of the week or it's going to be very slow like it's doing right here. Pretty much yesterday and today was a lot of sideways movement. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when the market's going to pick up based off the news. But it's just going to be a matter of time. Yeah, exactly. Jonathan said Powell speaks this week sometime. Yeah, I think he's speaking tomorrow. Let's see, question from question from Patrick. So Patrick said, did I miss anything? We have orange momentum signals now. When's the last time you've been here, Patrick? So I'm trying to think about when I introduced it. I think I introduced it last week. So the orange signals here, if you guys look at the momentum indicator, it's been updated. So now it's a version 2. You can now turn on this feature here, which is scalp. So when you turn it off, it's going to go back to normal signals. But when you turn it on right here, you can set a time frame right here, Patrick. And basically, whenever you have a signal here, so for example, we have a sell signal right here, right? The only reason I know it's a sell signal is because the previous signal is a buy signal. So with it being a sell signal right here, this indicates that it's a sell signal on also the 5-minute and 10-minute time frames, basically whatever time frame you set it to right here. You can use this on other time frames as well. Like for example, here on the 10-minute, I have it set here on the 10-minute, but I have the other time frame set to the 30-minute and 1 hour. So if you get a sell signal here, and it's also a sell signal on the 30-minute and 1 hour, then this is going to be gold, right? You can turn that on and just gives you confluence because this will help you understand and see that you have multiple time frames that have that same momentum signal. So it's not necessary, but it does help because if you have a sell signal here or a buy signal and you see that it's a gold signal, you would assume that, okay, this is probably going to keep pushing in that direction, especially volumes above average. So let me see if I can find an example here. So, okay, so this is an example right here. So see, for example, we have this would be a pivot scalp entry, right? It's a sell signal, but you can see volumes above average and it's a gold one. So with that being gold, you can indicate that, okay, if this is a sell signal on the 1 minute, it's also a sell signal on the 5 and 10 minute, odds of it dropping down super heavily are very likely, right? So with that said, you could have taken like, a 1-to-1 risk to reward trade here. Like that. Because it just helps with your confluence here. Because obviously, the more confluence is the better. And these gold signals here are basically like a high confluence confirmation. So we have a possible, there was an entry right here for a momentum scalp failure, guys. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it because it was right at opening price, but that would have hit TP. Right there. There's just too many red flags here. It's still within this area. So I was waiting for price to push to the upside. So we had one entry there. And then this green candle right here was an entry for a momentum scalp variation, this one right here. But again, it was right at all these red flags. So obviously not a trade that we would take. And then we have another momentum scalp right here that's currently running, but we couldn't take the trade because again, it's at these red flags. So unfortunately we had a whole setup right here of entries. We had a momentum scalp failure, which was this red signal here because everything here is bullish. We also had a momentum scalp variation where this candle right here closed above the pivots. And then this green buy signal right here is going to be, or a gold buy signal right there is going to be a momentum scalp entry. But again, it's like literally at all of these red flags. So again, if you guys just have forgotten, red flags when to avoid trades when price is near sessions, which is going to be this purple line right here. When price is near opening price, which is this blue line right here. When price is near news price, which is going to be these pink lines right here. Or when candle prior to entry is too large. So unfortunately, we did have a setup right here. Pretty much all three strategies, and they all hit full TP. Momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp. This one's technically still running, but it was at the sessions right here. Sessions and news price and opening price. So we couldn't take the trade, but the criteria did get meet. It's just depending if you guys follow my red flags here, which I do recommend you guys do, because you know it's always quality over quantity. So you don't want to be taking a bunch of trades, but they're going to be low quality. This one right here is still technically running. Looks like it's on its way to its TP. Looks like it's going to hit liquidity over here as well. Yeah. I think when it hits liquidity, it's probably going to go to full TP. But I'm not going to risk it. So I'm not going to hop into this trade here. I already missed the entire trade. And it's also at the red flag. So I'm not going to take the trade there. But there is liquidity sitting right there at that point. So when price does hit that point there, I'm probably expecting it to push up higher. Yeah, it's kind of a frustrating market today because we couldn't confirm the overall trend. The trend is now kind of confirmed, but there's still no entries for us to take. There you go. Price hits liquidity. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up and blasts right through to full TP right there. Medusa, what do you think about the liquidity untouched above the price currently? Yeah, so that's the one that Medusa is referring to, this right here. You can see how I hit liquidity right there. I do expect it to push up. It's just the volume here starting to pick up. So if the volume here picks up and it still is above average, I think price is going to finally push up and actually hit the profit target. Yeah, Patrick said, yeah, he's been slacking in the meetings lately. He'll have to update his indicators. Yeah, to update your indicators, guys, just remove the indicator off your chart. So just close this out, go to your indicators, go to your invite only scripts, and then click on K2 Trades proprietary trading system, and it'll just update your indicator automatically on the chart for you. Yeah, it's just a lot of red flags. Van Harwig said, thanks, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Definitely. We'll see you back here on Wednesday, Van Harwig. Maddie said he wants to take it, but he's going to stay disciplined and close his MT4. Yeah, no, definitely. So I'm just going to delete this, guys, because I don't want you guys to think that we're in this position. I'm not in anything right now. Unfortunately, I was waiting for an official entry to come up, but we just never had that come up. So there's nothing for us to take right now, specifically because of all these red flags. We still have an opportunity to make an entry here, though. So if we get another sell signal here and it's below average on the volume bar, then it's technically still going to be a momentum scalp failure entry. Yeah, Keonia said it was a good move. She slammed MC4 mat down and run away once I'm done. Yeah, no, same here, guys. Once I'm done trading for the day, I'm like pretty much done. I'll remark that setup right there, guys, again. So it's still technically running. I just wanted to take it off because I didn't want you guys to think that we're in that position there. But it is still technically running, and I do expect it to run to full TP. And it just did right there, blasted right through it. So it pretty much knocked out all the liquidity, and then pretty much just hit the full TP there. So if you took any of those three entries, looks like they all would have hit your TP at that point. I actually took a little speculative move right there too, guys. So I actually took a quick little move there to get in and out of the trade super quickly. Of course, TFF, like, yeah, Nick said you took a speculative move, huh? I see you looking at MC4. Yeah, I did. Caught me red-handed, Nick. TFF, of course, gave me a lot of you guys here who have been part of the group, you guys know when I'm taking these speculative moves because my eyes will like focus on my MC4. So my main screen's right here with my trading view, but if I'm ever looking at the screen, I'm probably doing something behind the scenes, which Nick obviously identified. I do that sometimes because, even though I tell you guys to stay disciplined, I get FOMO myself, right? Everybody gets FOMO with the trades. So I'll just take a screenshot of my profits and then you guys can see what I locked in. I just wanted to get a quick 100 pips here. Unfortunately, I was only able to get partial move of it because this thing spiked up too quickly. But again, there's no official trade. So for today, we have no official trades, nothing to count for today. Everything I took was speculative. Unfortunately, there was just nothing for us to take here. We might have something come up right here though. So like I'm looking at where price is currently at. Never mind, take that back. Price is now dumping. I was hoping that we get a sell signal here, but it wouldn't actually close below because now it's at these red flags. If this sell signal here closed right here, it would have been a momentum scalp failure entry. However, the fact that price closed so low below, it's right back into this red flag area. Jonathan said, that is the Sean is taking a trade indicator. I know exactly. Medusa, I didn't know. Still trying to make back my loss from yesterday. I was hoping to catch liquidity, but I thought you weren't taking it. Yeah, no, I didn't plan on taking it. So initially when we were analyzing it, Medu, I didn't take it. But when price came up for a second retest of the liquidity and it was going towards the TP, that's where I took it for a small move. So yeah, I didn't even get it for the full move. I got it for a partial, unfortunately. Rashida's asking, when you do those quick moves, are you putting a stop loss? Yes, of course. Always use a stop loss because you never know when price is going to go opposite of you. So for me, when I'm doing those quick moves, I'm using the quick trade manager. Well, I use the quick trade manager for all of my trades. I already have the TP stop loss set up. So my default settings are at 2550. So 250 pips TP, 500 pips stop loss. But then I'll manually enter and exit the trades, or I'll manually exit it. So I'll hit like buy, like for example, let me just show you an example of what I did here. So basically what I had here was, we had this setup running right here, right? So when price came back down right here, I just entered for a quick move because I figured, okay, if price retests liquidity, it's going to push up and it's just going to run to full TP, right? But I have it for 100 pips. So like basically, when price reached this point right here, I try to enter when it hit liquidity, which was what I marked up right here. But I have my TP stop loss set up from the quick trade manager. So like whenever I enter trade, it already has a TP stop loss set up for me, so I don't miss anything. But what happened was, since I entered kind of like there was some slippage there, it entered me like up here. So when it got to that point, I just had to automatically close it because price ended up blasting right through it right there. And it didn't close me out because I was caught in some slippage. I actually made entry like way up here, like super late. So my entry actually came up right here and then it didn't close me out. And then I ended up just holding on to it and then I closed it out early. So I always use a stop loss. Whenever I enter a trade, I have my quick trade manager set up. So my CP and stop loss are already set up. But in an instance like this where I have to pull out early because it already hit TP, but didn't pull me out, I just got to manually close out of it. Maddie said this market is booty. Yeah, no, definitely 100%. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. No, 100%. That's exactly what it is. Martha's asking, can you share your quick trade manager screen so we can set? So it's nothing special, Martha. So the thing with my quick trade manager is that I can't drag it over because whenever I drag it over on my different screen, it corrupts the file because I'm on a Mac. If you want to see how it's set up, there's a whole video in the course. Have you pulled up the course yet, Martha? Because I think you're part of the mentoring session, right? So yeah, whatever I put up in that. Okay, so you said you watched it and you followed it. So where are you confused at so I can help you with it? Because if there's something that you need to fix on it, I can. Yeah, your stop loss is at 3,000. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, if you want to set it to that, you can set it at that, but you can always change it. So yeah, you have your settings at proper settings. For me personally, because the volatility is so high, I have it set to 25, or I have it set to 2,500 and 5,000. So you know how you have yours set to 1,000 and 3,000? I have mine set to this number, these numbers here, because there's more movement here, right? Because for example, say if you're trying to go for 100 pips, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going for 100 pips. It's just your stop loss is sometimes a little too tight, right? So yours is fine. I mean, if you had your setup like that, you still hit your 100 pips. You'd be in and out of these positions quickly because you catching like 100 pips super quickly is very likely, right? If you entered this momentum scalp over here, momentum scalp failure for 100 pips, it would have went straight to your TP. If you took this trade over here as well, but it went straight to your TP. But for me, I like the cushion. So I'm using a 25.50. So I have more cushion, but I also have more risk because I'm going for a bigger move, right? So yours is actually fine, Martha. You don't have to change anything. If you want to have yours to my settings, you can set it to 5,000 on your stop loss. And then for your TP, you can put it to 2,500. And then if you want to exit at any time, you can do that as well. But no, you're on point. You follow the video perfectly. I thought you had an issue, but it seems like you have it perfectly fine. All right. Yeah, no problem, Martha. Yeah, exactly. Keonia said scalping is great once you know how to move. Yeah, that's really what it is, Keonia. You'll see a lot of people who hate on scalping and hate on day trading, but the only reason they hate on it is because they don't know what they're doing, right? If you know how to scalp and you know how to day trade, I think it's like the best way to trade because you never get caught in manipulation, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have traded before where you guys are taking something like on the higher time frame, like say like the 1 hour over here, right? And it's funny because I mean, it's not necessarily funny, but it's kind of sad because you'll be waiting for a trade here. Like say you're looking for a buy here and you're like, all right, this has got to hit. It's got to keep going, right? And then as soon as you enter this trade, like you could be holding on to this trade for hours. Like say, for example, you enter this trade over here. All right, say, for example, you entered this trade right here and you could be holding on to this trade for like, let's see how many hours this could be running for. You entered from right here and you're holding this trade for like 22 hours, 23 hours almost. And then you're like, all right, this is like so close to TP. And then you move your stop loss and profit, right? Because at this point, you probably should move your stop loss and profit. And then you just wasted 22 hours because now price comes down and stops you out in profit. And you literally made no profit, but you waited like a whole day. For us scalping here, we're waiting for like 1 or 2 entries, like for an hour. And then we're making like X amount of profit, right, per trade. So that's why I personally prefer scalping over any other type of trading style, because I don't have to be on the charts all day. I'm on the charts for like maybe an hour a day, and I'm making more profits than majority of people who are, swing trading or day trading intraday. So it's just a preference. Like for me personally, I like to scalp, I like to day trade, and that's what I'm good at. Some people like to swing trade, some people like to intraday trade. That's completely fine as well. But, not every trading style is for everybody. That's why I always remind everybody here, if this isn't your trading style, then there's no need to trade this way. You can trade the way that you like. I never recommend people force any trades on themselves because that's just going to make you a worse trader because you're going to be focusing on something that you don't like to do. Anyways, let me just finish taking screenshots of my profits real quick. You know what? I got to go and re-screenshot everything because I just realized that I took another trade. So let's give me 1 second, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 8 o'clock right now. So unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to have any official entries, but there are a lot of profits by people here in the group that we can share. My TFF kind of cut me short again, but I mean, it is what it is. Just got to deal with it. Yeah, there's a momentum scalp right here that Rashida mentioned. The only problem with this here is that, again, it was at the session. So it's just not a good area right here to be trading in, right? This is not a good area because there's a lot of red flags here. So let me just look at everyone's profits so far. Here, my profits logging 1,980 off this one, 1,780 off my FTMO number 2, MFF 1,580, MFF number 2, 1,580, MFF number 3, 1,580. And then my TFF locked in 432. Some profits over here from other members in the group. Let's see. We have Sisuk over here, total profit of 4,100. Nice work, Sisuk. Let me just copy these over real quick. We got Ben Hartwig over here, total profit of 644.20 cents for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Ben Hartwig. Solid work right there. We got Natasha over here, total profit of 476 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Natasha. Yeah, Natasha said she got in trouble yesterday, so she's trying to be on her best behavior, trading on her phone. So I have to pull out manually. Gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately. So, well, good thing that you still locked in profit, Natasha. So you locked in 476 for the day. Nice work there. Dejan over here currently up 215 for the day. Nice work, Dejan. Nice recovery on that small loss earlier this morning. Maddie over here. Yeah, it's set up. Yeah, so Maddie actually set up, he marked up this pattern here and it played out perfect. Rashida over here locking a total profit of 985 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Rashida. Patrick over here, he said markets being stubborn, going to walk away with these profits. So Patrick over here locking a total profit of 1,886 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Ensong over here, nice work, Ensong. So Ensong said took a lot of candles, closing with pivots. Total profit over here of 1,835 for the day. Nice work, Ensong. All wins and no losses. Nice comeback. I know today's like your first day back, I think, right? Back into the group. Solid profits to kick off the return. Patricia over here, total profit of 3,925. Looks like Patricia had a little accident right there. Looks like it might have been a break even that went to slippage, but technically she pretty much had straight full wins across her account for the day. So total profit of 3,925. Nice work, Patricia. I think that's it. So that's it for right now. Nathan over here, total profit of 1,795. Looks like Nathan let his trades run a full TP. Pretty solid. Yeah, great work, guys. So nice work all around. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot of my account so far. So I locked in a little more profit across all my accounts. And I'll just take another screenshot. So unfortunately, guys, it does not look like we're going to have another official, like any official entries because it's 8:03 right now. It's just not a good time to be entering these trades, especially because we're getting late into the session. Here's Ensong. He took a couple more trades. He's now up 3,385 for the day. Nice work, Ensong. All wins too. Look at these green strips. Solid. I think this is the best feeling. If you guys ever like look at your profits at the end of the day and you guys see all the green strips, this is like, damn, you actually let the trade run to full TP. Like a lot of people won't let that happen, right? So whenever I see people like lock it in like this, I could see that they're really confident in their trading, right? Because if you're confident, you're going to let your trade run to where it needs to go. If you're not confident, you get scared, you're going to pull out early. But whenever you see like people like let them run to full TP like that, you can confirm that, you know, they know what they're doing and they're trusting their move. So yeah, no, great work right there, Ensong. We got Zach over here. Zach for the day, he's currently up. Nice. Yeah, Zach is currently up 2,400. Solid work right there, Zach. Dejan said, I'm getting a MacBook so I can see green ships more often. Right, Dejan? Keonia said, my copy account don't show green strips, but it closes out with my TP. Yeah, no, I think on your main account, Keonia, it does show your green strips, just not the copier. So my copiers don't show it either. So I was looking at your accounts earlier. Let me see where you're at. Yeah, so see this one right here, Keonia, you got the green strip on your main account, but your copier doesn't show the green strip. It's just your it's just the main account. So that's the same with mine too. So as you guys can see right here, my main account has all the green strips because I let them hit TP, but my other accounts don't have it. So all right, let me just take a screenshot of my profits. If you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and then we will try to wrap this up for the day. So guys, if you guys are new in the group and you guys, or if you guys are on the YouTube and you guys want access to the real-time Zoom, because the YouTube is delayed, guys. So it's hard for you guys to copy the trades. If you guys are on the YouTube, it has about like a 30-second delay sometimes. So it's a long time. Like by the time you try to enter the trade, we're already out in profit. So if you guys want access to the Zoom, you know, majority of people are here on the Zoom. Just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access or click pricing down here, and it'll send you to the page where you can get access to the live Zoom. Or if you guys want access to my indicators, you guys can get access to my indicators as well through the website. The website is kodikaitrades.com. And if you guys want to go back and rewatch any of my live sessions, I trade live every day from Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Just go to my YouTube channel here, turn on notifications, and then subscribe. And then whenever I go live, you guys will get emailed that I'm going live. So if you go to this live button right here, you guys can rewatch any of my live sessions. Every live session is documented here. So I've been trading live for about 3 to 5 years now, 3 to 5 years. And I almost never miss a day. So let me just take a screenshot of my profits. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping this up for the day so far. So let me just take a screenshot of everything here. Let me screenshot every account so that you guys can see. Yeah, but yeah, if you guys follow directions in the group, or if you guys listen to my analysis pretty much every day, there should be no reason for you guys not to be consistent, right? Because I only give you guys quality moves, and I only tell you guys when like the official entries are really on point. But there isn't necessarily anything that's really inconspicuous here, because we do the same thing every day. So let's see if there's anything else over here real quick. I think all of my okay. Oh no, they're a little different. I was checking my MFS for the same profits, but I got to take screenshots of 2 different accounts because they're slightly different. Yeah, so all these wins today pretty much offset my losses. I think I should be back in profit overall, or almost there for the most part. I need like one more trade to like bounce it back, but for the most part, we're good. My TFF over here, of course, undercut my profits, but it's all good. All right, so let me go ahead and post up my profits real quick. There's no entries for us to take here, guys. It's past 8 o'clock, and it does not look like we're getting another sell signal anytime soon. So let me go ahead and just post up my profits real quick. Here's David. David said his first day back, got to stay consistent. David's currently up 550 for the day. Nice work, David. Yeah, no, solid first day back. And then here is my accounts. So again, guys, just a reminder, there were no official trades for today. So don't worry if you guys missed anything, because there was nothing for you guys to take to begin with. I took a couple speculative trades here just off my analysis. Basically I knew where price was going, so I took them for like quick little moves here and there. And here are my accounts. So here's my main account. You can see the green strips. This is my main FTMO, locked in a total profit of 2,490. Here's my FT1 number 2, a locked in total profit of 2,340. Here's my MFF account, locked in 1,840. Here's my MFF number 2, locked in 1,890. MFF number 3, 1,890. And then my TFF over here, they keep undercutting me with my profits. So I locked in like 600 on my second trade, and then negative 100 for these two, which should have been in profit. You can see my main account here. I locked in 970 off the first one, 510 off the third one. So the first and third trade should have been in profit, but they just undercut with like execution issues and spread and whatnot. So it's all good. Anyways, not really much. Yeah, Song over here mentioned FOMC tomorrow is probably going to be a range day. Yeah, I think we might get some pushes up and down slightly, but yeah, I think for the most part, it'll probably range until 11. So like we do have some high impact news here. So I think price will push around pre-market. We have high impact news right here, ADP non-farm employment change. And then over here at 7 o'clock, we have ISM manufacturing PMI. So these are pretty high impact news events. that I think will push price around. But I think as we get closer to 8 o'clock, it's just going to range for the most part. And then it's going to move heavily right here at 11 when the Fed speaks, which you guys know what happens when J-Powell speaks. Price will either spike up super heavy or it'll spike down super heavy. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, just a reminder, there was no official trades for today. So I will be posting my profits, but there are no official trades to count. So none of those profits are going to count towards the results. They're just my profits from today's live trading session. And then we will continue on with this trading week. So it's just Tuesday, guys. We still have 3 days ahead of us. So don't worry if you guys haven't taken any trades this week yet. It's the discipline and consistency that really matters. I think tomorrow market will be a lot busier because there's a lot of news all throughout, well, high impact news in specific tomorrow, which will kind of push price around. Hopefully that'll cause some volatility and some direction so that we can actually take some official trades, which will be one of these right over here. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Let me check the poll from today or from yesterday, actually. Okay, so the poll from yesterday, I asked whether you guys want me to just move our Monday session to 5 p.m. or if you guys want me to hold an additional session on Tuesdays. So we did get 14 votes for the additional session. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to host it today because this is kind of very last minute for me. And I'm going on vacation this week, so I kind of have a lot of things to do behind the scenes. So we will be holding double sessions next week. So starting next week, we'll start having the mentoring sessions on Monday and then another mentoring session on Tuesday at night for you guys who can attend the regular session on Monday. So other than that, guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, tomorrow we will be back here, same place, same time for the next live session. So have a great rest of your day, guys.